Welcome back to No Sticks, No Bricks. This week we visit a national park that you've probably never heard of. We also install a modification in our RV that will hopefully make travel days much easier. We then go on a Jeeping adventure that takes us up over 9,000 feet in the Nevada mountains. Finally, we visit these things. What in the heck are these things? All that and more right after this. Welcome back to No Sticks, No Bricks. We are in Ely, Nevada this week. We had such a great time in Page. If you haven't seen that video from last week, make sure you go check it out. I'll pop a link right up here because we saw some amazing stuff in Page, Arizona, to include both Antelope Canyons, the upper and the lower. We went and saw Horseshoe Bend, all kinds of stuff. So make sure you check that out. And that's where I discovered that 3/4 of the audio that I have filmed for the last 2 days was gone. So for the first half of this video, unfortunately, there's not going to be any audio. So I'm going to do something that I don't normally do and I don't particularly enjoy doing, and that's a voiceover, because I feel the content that was filmed is valuable enough that I want to pass it on to y'all. If you'll just bear with me for the first few minutes of this video, we'll get through it together. What I did discover was that the audio port on the media mod that goes around the GoPro, that audio port, it died somehow. If you were to shake the cable or move the cable around, it would work for a couple seconds and then it would quit working again. So I think I got the problem fixed. Hopefully you can hear me right now. Different media mod. And we'll continue on with this video, so enjoy. First, we travel about an hour away to little-known Great Basin National Park. This national park sits just southwest of Salt Lake City along the Nevada-Utah border. Our first stop was the Great Basin Visitor Center just outside the park. This park is a little unique as it does not charge an entrance fee. There's no gate to go through, but there are some tours that you do have to pay for if you choose so. Great Basin National Park is a certified night sky park, but unfortunately while we were there, the moon was just too bright to get good night shots. From there, we traveled to Lehman Caves Visitor Center and we came across a sign identifying 4 different campgrounds in the park. Unfortunately, 2 of them were still closed due to snowpack in early May. Upon arrival, we found out that all cave tours were currently sold out, which was kind of a bummer because that's one of the highlights of Great Basin National Park. We did get our passport book stamped, and of course I had to mess with Jennifer with one of her least favorite animals, the bat. Even though bats aren't technically birds, Jennifer did happen to find one in her pocket. Lehman's Visitor Center also offers a small gift shop and a cafe where we ate lunch. I suggest getting the chili as it's homemade and delicious. There are a few cabins still standing throughout the park left over from its old mining days, to include this one just outside the Lehman's Visitor Center. From there, we jumped on Wheeler Peak Scenic Drive, which quickly rose to over 10,000 feet in elevation. We saw more and more snow the further we went during this first week of May. We reached Mather Lookout where fresh snow was still on the ground, but the views were spectacular, highlighted by Wheeler Peak standing at 13,065 feet, making it Nevada's second highest peak. Jen thought she was going to get me back for the bat incident, but that quickly backfired. Unfortunately, the road was closed past this point, so we got back in the Jeep, and that was the end of our time at Great Basin National Park. Jen did pick up a pretty sweet national park water bottle that includes stickers of all national parks. After applying the stickers to the parks we've visited so far, we're up to 23. We have a long ways to go to hit 63. Here we discuss the 3 things on travel days that drive us crazy. Number 1, our mid-bathroom door constantly pops open. We did install a 3M latch to keep it closed, but the 3M just wouldn't stick and the door still opened up on travel days. As much as we hate putting holes in the walls of our home, we decided it was time to add some screws to the latch. Hopefully that will do the trick. Number 2 is our food pantry also likes to open up on bumpy roads. One of the retaining clips did break, so we ordered a replacement along with a few spares just in case they break again. Lord knows these roads are not favorable to RVs. Lastly, our refrigerator door would pop open just enough to set off the alarm and allow items to fall down into the extra space. It was a constant game of what's gonna fall out of the fridge today. Jen would have to get up and address all three of these nuisances while I drove, so not exactly the safest way to travel. But thanks to Cindy Golden, who recommended an item on our Facebook page, we believe we have found a solution. The Fridge Fixer. Y'all, there are 17 pages of instructions for this little guy. It did come with paperwork, but it directs you to their website for the PDF version of the install instructions. You'll need a Phillips screwdriver and an Allen wrench, which did come with the kit. The first step is to remove the inner door bolts on both sides of the doors. Pay close attention to your bolts to see whether they are countersunk or not, as this will determine the direction the fridge fixer is installed. Next, remove the 2 Allen screws with the provided wrench so that the platform can move freely. This will allow you to adjust it after mounting it to your refrigerator. Then, loosen the 2 depth locking nuts so you can adjust the depth of the front platform after install. Next, make sure the 2 frame clamps are installed onto both frames. We had to remove them and flip them over since our door bolts were not countersunk. Next, reinstall your door bolts, ensuring the frame of the fridge fixer is correctly positioned based on your bolts. After ensuring your frame mounts are oriented and installed correctly, go ahead and tighten the bolts. Next, center the fridge fixer platform on the refrigerator door and center in the gap between the refrigerator and freezer.
Alright, so you just want to hold these little retaining nuts here and screw this thing out. Do the other side. Okay, so I got this adjusted out, and then I haven't tightened anything up yet. I just want to make sure that this is actually going to go in, which it does, and it locks in. And that will keep those doors from popping open. And then when you're done, you push right here at the bottom and lift up, and it pops back out.
Nice.
Yeah, that should work pretty slick. So now we just got to tighten everything up. All right, so now that we got everything figured out, we're gonna tighten up our set screws back up, and then we're also gonna tighten up these little lock nuts to keep these screws from moving in and out and messing up our adjustment. So let's do that. The little 9mm wrench works just fine. Tighten these bad boys up. All right. Ooh, no. I messed up somewhere. Are these supposed to go on the other side?
That's what I was wondering.
All right, dumbass move number 1. These little lock nuts go on this side to keep them from moving. That would make sense, huh? Oh, boy. See? See why it's more fun to do this live than have this all figured out for you guys already? It's just not as fun. Right, babe?
Right. It's always an adventure.
Always an adventure. All right. That's much better.
That noise is what we hear every travel day.
There goes Pitchin' Betty. All right, that's better. All right, let me grab the Allen wrench so I can tighten up those set screws. Tiny little fingers.
You don't have tiny little fingers.
Or should I say, fat little finger, tiny screw? All right. Ooh, geez. There's one.
What was that saying? A fat man in a little suit?
Yeah, fat man in a little coat, I think is what it was.
Something like
Chris Farley.
Oh, God.
So funny.
So
All right. I think we got it, folks. That's not moving. That's not moving. Let's test it out. And I didn't even drop a screw. Gee, my knees. I dropped that on purpose, but then I didn't drop that on purpose.
Karma, karma, karma.
All right. So I got it closed. Doesn't inhibit the doors opening and closing at all, which is nice. That just stays there. Travel day comes. Lock, lock. Stick that in. Lock. Now look.
Oh my God.
These doors don't move at all. In fact, I might be able to tighten up this right side just a touch, but yeah, I'm going to. The left side doesn't budge at all, but the right side's just got a tiny little bit of give, so I'm just gonna do some minor adjustments on it, but I think this will work.
Yay.
Thanks, Miss Golden. We do have one challenge though with this. to keep track of this damn thing.
Oh boy.
But I just noticed something. It's got a magnet on it. So, you know where we should put it?
On the trash can? Oh. That would be a great idea.
Look at that.
Yeah, because the fridge isn't magnetic.
No, the fridge isn't magnetic, which would be great to stick it on there. But it's not. So now we always know where it's at.
There we go.
All right, so we are out for a little drive today. We found some snow. So let's go take Daisy Mae through some snow. Did you get the shot?
I think I did.
Yeah. More snow ahead of us, but man, it's pretty up here. Well, we tried to go as high as we could, and then we ran into too much snow, so we turned around. But man, it's beautiful. We're at 9,168 feet right now. All right. Now we're gonna go see some giant beehives.
Yes.
They're actually like charcoal ovens that they used back in the, I believe, late 1800s to refine whatever they mined around here, copper or silver or something. So they look kind of cool. Wow, these are a lot bigger than I thought they were going to be. They're pretty huge. These are a lot bigger than I anticipated. Can you see much in there? Oh, whoa. It's got a moonroof. It's got an echo.
It does.
Echo. Look how big this thing is. So they actually use these to create charcoal. So they burn wood in here and then created charcoal out of it. Filling one oven required trees from 6 acres of land. Wow. Each oven held 35 cords of wood.